Hello party people. So in today's video I'm going to show you guys our basic offense. Our basic offense is going to have 4 formations. Formations is the way that you line up before the ball is snapped, okay? So our basic formation is called doubles. It's called doubles because there's 2 receivers on each side of the ball. The ball always starts here with the center, okay? So this is the center. He's indicated by a square with an X on it. You got center, guard, tackle. Center, guard, tackle. Outside are our receivers, 4 receivers. This is our running back. We have him listed as T for tailback. It's another word for running back, okay? Quarterback behind the center. All right, so your quarterback is going to always take the snap. We run out of shotgun. So some teams go under center where they have the quarterback down here right behind the center. We are going to try to do shotgun, and if we can successfully do it, it's going to be great. Otherwise, we're moving under center. But for now, this is how we're going to line up, okay? Quarterback's about 4 yards back from the center, okay? Tailback, I'm going to have the tailback or the running back stand about a yard to the right or to the left, depending on the play call of the quarterback. Now, the receivers are labeled this, X, Y, H, Z, okay? So it's X, Y, Z, just like the alphabet. The only problem is, for whatever reason, they throw in what's called the H receiver. Okay, so our wide receivers, these 4 players, the X, the Y, and it's always going to be from left to right. That's when I'm saying it. So I'm saying X, Y, H, Z. These are our outside receivers. The X and the Z are our outside receivers. They line up with their inside foot up. Every receiver is going to line up with their inside foot up. So if I'm standing on the right side, my inside foot closest to the ball always starts with the center, right? So my left foot is going to be up if I'm a Z receiver. If I'm an H receiver, my left foot's going to be up. If I'm a Y receiver, I'm on the other side of the ball. So my right foot is going to be up. And if I'm the X receiver, same exact thing. You can stop it. Okay, so on the football field, there's going to be a thing called hash marks. Every single yard, for 100 yards, they're going to have what's called hash marks. There's those little white lines that look just like this. And then on the outside of those hash marks, there's going to be the numbers, okay? So the 30-yard line, the 40-yard line, the 50-yard line, the 60, the 70, the 80, all the way to where we score our touchdowns in the end zone, okay? So our players, our slot receiver, our inside receiver, which would be the Y receiver and the H receiver, they're going to be 1 yard off the ball, okay? So I've drawn them. That's a little deceiving, right? Because it's not even going to be that far. It's going to be about just 1 yard behind the ball, but they have to be off of the line of scrimmage. The line of scrimmage is right here. That is the line of scrimmage, okay? Where the ball is snapped is the line of scrimmage, starting where the ball is from the center. Okay, on our team, I always want these slot receivers right here. I want them inside of the hash marks, okay? So they're going to be on the inside part close to the ball of these hash marks. And I want our outside receiver probably lined up anywhere between just inside the numbers to even right head up on the numbers. That is how we're going to spread the defense horizontally. So you got vertically, which is backwards and forwards. I want our players to be able to stretch the defense horizontally. Because we run a spread offense, we are spreading out the defense. Because, well, I'll show you that in the next clip. Okay, so using the spread offense, we are not bunched up like something like the I formation where everybody is in this, we call this the tackle box, okay? Where your offensive linemen are, this is called your tackle box. Anything outside of your tackle box, we're trying to spread them out so that they can't line up right there. Because if they all line up right there and we run a run play, they're going to be right there. So we want to make sure that this corner, these are our defensive players. This cornerback, that free safety, that linebacker, they can't be up in the tackle box if we spread them horizontally. And if they decide that they're going to stack this box with an extra player, let's say that they bring that linebacker that I just erased, if they move him in here, or if they move this guy in here, we will shred them by hitting these outside guys, these slot receivers. So we need to make sure that we're spreading them vertically. If we all line up right here, for example, can you pause it? So if we move all of our receivers from out here into here, all those defensive players come with. So corner, corner, backer, backer, end, tackle, tackle, end, backer, backer, and safety. Now the entire box is full. If they can stack the box against us, we will not win because our plays are designed to be spread out. So we need to stretch the defense horizontally, and by getting our pass game going, we can stretch them vertically. But how we line up is we have to stretch them side to side before the play even starts. All right, so I taught you the spread offense, or sorry, the doubles offense, because that was our doubles formation. This is called trips. Now, instead of having this guy, this slot receiver, line up here, I'm going to move him right here. Or vice versa. Instead of having him over here, we're going to erase him and we're going to go trips right. So trips right, trips left. Awesome. Okay, so the way that you line up on this is outside guys are still on the line of scrimmage. So how you're going to check that is actually like this. If you want to be on the line, they're going to look at the referee. So in this case, the camera's the referee. And they're going to look at him with their inside foot up. They're going to say, am I on? Right? Okay, that's how they're going to do it. They're actually going to move it like this, forward. So they're going to go, am I on? The referee's going to say, no, scoot back. No, move forward. Yes, you're good. Now, if he wants to be off the line of scrimmage, the line of scrimmage, remember, is where we start. He's going to reach his hand back, and he's going to say, am I on? Am I off? And then the referee's going to tell them where to go. We need to make sure we do that, because if we don't check on a play, they can call a penalty on us. Okay, so this is the offensive tackle, the last lineman on the line of scrimmage. So this is the offensive line, this is the tackle box in between the offensive line, and this is our inside receiver. He came over from this side and he was put over here. So this is our H receiver, Y receiver, Z receiver. I want our Z receiver lined up, or sorry, our outside receiver, whether it's the Z or the X. I want him lined up on the numbers. Then the inside slot receiver, I want him on the hash marks, those little lines. And then I want our next receiver about 4 yards away from there. If we have about 4 yards, I'm hoping we do. If we have about 4 yards in between them and about 3 yards away. So basically he needs to split the difference between the Y receiver. By split the difference, I mean he needs to stand in the middle of where that outside guy is and where he is, okay? So that is how we're gonna run our trips formation. It's very important because it's gonna be our second most used formation. Okay, our next formation is called pistol. Pistol is you take those inside receivers I told you about and we just move them right here. That's it. That's the pistol formation. That's where we have 4 men in the box. Running back, instead of being beside the quarterback, he's going to move back here. So these guys move in. The running back just stands behind the quarterback. Okay, this formation, if we could do it right, we're going to beat a lot of teams in the league because a lot of teams don't know how to do it, okay? Or they don't do it properly, or they don't have a quarterback who can hit deep balls. But this is going to be our empty formation. Empty formation means that the only guy in the backfield is our quarterback. Everyone else is moved out to play receiver, okay? So our offensive line stays the same. Our running back comes this way, okay? Because the running back is going to be on the opposite side of the trips. So this is trips because there's 3. Running back, usually the running back will be right here on trips. But because we're going to have him move up here, and he's going to line up off the line of scrimmage. This is the line of scrimmage. He's going to be 1 yard behind it, which means off the line of scrimmage. And then our trips, so the guy who would have been here, so this is what it would look like, right? That's doubles. We're going to have this guy shift over here. He's actually going to be here. The other guy's going to be there. And then this guy is going to erase and go over here, okay? All 3 of these guys are 1 yard off the line of scrimmage. If they are on the line of scrimmage, we get a penalty. So we can't do it. We got to line up correctly. Okay, this formation, kind of a funky one. This is the shape of a diamond, okay? And it's also got 4 receivers, okay? So this is called quads. Quads because of 4. We could call it diamond. I don't know what I'm going to call it yet, okay? But this is a diamond formation, also known as quads. This will mostly be done for like trick plays or to catch the defense off guard. We're not going to use this every play, but if we do it right, You'll notice it's also an empty formation because the last formation that we learned was empty. Well, guess what? Our wide receiver, so here's how we do it. Here's how we start, and here's how we shift. Our outside receiver is actually going to be the middle guy. So usually it'll look like this, okay? In this particular case, we take our running back and we move him to the back of the diamond, okay? We shift this guy a few yards forward so he can be the front man on the line of scrimmage. LOS, line of scrimmage. He is on the line of scrimmage. He is the only receiver that is on the line of scrimmage. And he will be in front of the running back. And then this receiver over here will come over here, okay? So that's our quads. That's our diamond formation. And we won't use it a lot, but when we use it, it'll be really good. Okay, so on offense, we are a huddle team. Now, we may run no huddle, but don't worry about that until another video, okay? Huddle is where you line up in a circle, okay? You may get one tight circle, and I want it done in this order, and there's a reason for it. And I'll show you why. We have practiced it already, but we will need the kids to remember. Quarterback is always back here, okay? So our linemen are going to be right there in the huddle. In the circle, the linemen need to be able to turn around and go straight to their spots, okay? Our outside receivers are the next one standing next to the offensive tackles, okay? So they can run straight to their spots. Our other receivers, they're going to have to wait for these guys to clear, okay? Oh, I did that wrong. Yep, okay. And then our outside receivers, then our inside receivers are next to go, right? Because when you're breaking the huddle, I don't want our players running into each other. I don't want them having to like turn around, spin around, run around, do their thing. I want them to be able to just go straight like this. Turn around and walk to their spot. Except we don't walk, we run, but they'll know that, okay? Next is our running back is right by the quarterback because when we line up, the running back is right next to the quarterback. These two receivers line up together because they're right next to each other. So we make sure that we always have our players lined up in this huddle formation. That's a little bit confusing, but if you do it right, it'll look really good. It'll help us with fluidity, and it'll make sure that we don't take any seconds off the clock that we need. Our huddles will be quick, efficient, and they'll work. All right, so snap count is super important. Snap count means when we snap the ball, okay? So the quarterback's going to go down, set, hut. That's on 1, okay? So that's Monday. Monday is on 1. Tuesday is on 2. Down, set, hut, hut. That's on 2. Wednesday is down, set, hut, hut, hut. That's on 3, okay? So some of our quarterback this year likes to go down, set, go. Or ready, go. That's on 1, okay? Ready, go. Go. That's on 2. That's Tuesday. 2 for Tuesday. Wednesday, down, set, hut, 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 go, go, go. That's on 3, okay? We have a thing called the freeze play. The freeze play is super important because we're going to need it in the season. It sounds dumb, but it's one of the ways that we're going to get the other team to give us a free 5 yards. Or we're going to mess it up and we're going to give them a free 5 yards. So it's super important that our players are disciplined on snap count, okay? So once we get in that circular huddle that we did in the last clip, we get in our little huddle, blah, 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 blah. We say our play. I'm going to call from the sidelines. I'm going to say freeze play, okay? Freeze play, that's the signal, okay? It's cold, so our players are going to know that they better not move. That's the play, okay? So they're going to go up to the line of scrimmage, and our quarterback is the only one that does anything on this play, the quarterback. And he goes, down, set, hut, 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 go, go. And if we can get them to jump off sides, because these kids don't know how to do it, right? I'm not talking about our kids. I'm talking about other teams will jump if they're not watching the ball. If we can get free 5 yards, usually we're going to do it on 4th down. We're going to do it when the game's on the line. We're going to do it when we need 5 yards and we just want 5 free yards. And if we're disciplined and we do the freeze play, okay, they just do nothing, okay? So they stand there. They get in their stance. They look very serious. Receivers are in their stance. Linemen are in their stance. Running backs in their stance. Quarterback's going to scream his guts out, try to get them to jump, okay? And if they don't jump, if the other team doesn't jump and our team doesn't jump, I'm calling a timeout. Almost 10 times out of 10, I'll call a timeout. Okay? So that's freeze play. Just don't move. Our kids need to know, do not move, okay? All right, so our most simple plays are going to be run plays. Run plays, they get you the 5 yards, they get you the 3 yards. If you're lucky, you break it and you score a touchdown. But run plays are the key to an offense, okay? We run zone offense. So IZ is inside zone. So inside zone means we're aiming for the inside of the defense, and that's the zone block. Zone blocking basically means, well, I'll show you what it means, okay? So the running back is going to be right by the quarterback. This is inside zone left because we are running an inside zone to the left side. On our team, we call it Illinois. Illinois is what we're going to call it, okay? Don't have a hand signal for it yet, but I will come up with one. So Illinois is going to be our inside zone left because it's I for inside. Illinois to the left, okay. We are aiming for the A gap. So this is not the play, this is something separate, but you got to look at it. So A gap is the first gap between the center and the guard, A gap. Between the guard and the tackle is B gap on both sides. Between the tackle and the tight end is C gap. And then on the outside is D gap. We got to know our gaps because if we know that this running back, okay, our running back has this pink line connected to him. He is aiming for the A gap of the defense. And then if he does not see a crease, because his goal is to flow to the left and then cut back if needed, okay? So flow to the left and then cut back up the A gap if needed. So he is looking to hit this A gap, okay? If he can hit that A gap, let me rewrite this. He's going to aim for that A gap. The play side is to the left because we're running Illinois. So the play side A gap. And then if not, he bounces it back. If he can't get to this A gap, he goes to the next A gap. Linemen are gonna block towards the play side. So the play side is to the left. So they're taking a hard step to the left, okay? So what that looks like is, most of the teams that we play are going to have 4 defensive linemen. So our play side tackle is going to block that guy. Our play side guard is going to double team with our center. So they're both going to step to the same side and they're going to block this defender. They're going to double team. We've already practiced this. They know what they're doing. And then these guys are going to block the other guys. So then the running back is going to either see the crease or bounce it back, depending on where he sees green grass. A lot of the times he's going to cut it back, but most of the time we want to aim for that A gap. Okay, that's Illinois. Ireland is the exact same play. Ireland is the exact same play, but to the right side. Inside zone with an I, right with an R. Ireland. And Ireland we're going to come up with a hand signal for too. Okay, our next concept is called an outside zone. Same thing. Same thing as the inside zone, but to the outside, they're a little bit different. So in an inside zone offense, our linemen are pushing vertical, okay? They're trying to drive back as far as they can, as quickly as they can, and get vertical with the linemen. Vertical means north and south. So north, east, south, south, west, okay? So we, on the inside zone, are going north and south. On the outside zone, we're going east to west, meaning side to side. So what that looks like is this. We are taking a wider step. Our linemen are, these are our 5 linemen. They're taking a wider step to try to block all of the defensive players, okay? And then our tailback, or our running back, he is hitting that C gap. So this is the C gap. You got the B gap, the A gap, the A gap, the B gap, the C gap. He is aiming for that play side. Play side is the side that you're going to. The play is designed to go to the left in this case. So this is Olympus, okay? If it was going to the other side, it'd be Oregon. But it looks the same going to both sides. So this is doubles, okay? That's the formation. The play is Olympus. Olympus to the left, okay? Don't have a signal for it, but we'll get a signal for it soon. So aim for the C gap, and then if he absolutely has to, he's going to look for green grass to cut back, okay? That's kind of messy, but I have it on the playbook. You guys will know what it looks like much more simply. So linemen, reach block, okay? Reach block. Receivers are responsible to seal every single one of the linebackers and the defensive backs. Receivers don't get a play off. They don't get a play off on run plays. They have to go make a block, okay? Actually, this backside guy, so this is play side, that's backside, because this is where the play's going, that's the backside. These guys can even go help and block the safety, because this linebacker, he's not going to make a play. He's too far away from the play. So we're just going to ignore him. So yes, that is the inside zone to the left. A little confusing on the whiteboard, but we will practice it a lot. But that is our number 3 and number 4 play. So now you've already learned 4 plays. Inside zone left, inside zone right. Outside zone left, outside zone right. Once you know those plays, that will be a big part of our offense this season. Okay, this play is called Hawaii. Hawaii is pretty simple. I don't know what I'm gonna call for the signal, but I think it's gonna be something like this, right? Oh no, sorry, that's a different play. This one, you got the hula dancer, okay? Something like that. Looks stupid, but it works. Hawaii is such a good play because it's pretty much free 5 yards. If we run it right, it'll be 5 yards. Every single receiver, except the running back, will run a 5 yard to like a 7 yard hitch or a curl. They're called hooks. This route right here, this little line, is a hook, it's a curl, and it's a hitch. All of those are the same, they're just AKA. So hook, AKA curl, AKA hitch, okay? So you'll notice on this play, all 4 receivers run this. So this is not a deep play. This is a very short, quick, set hut, throw the ball, get 5 yards, move the chains, live to see another day. Now, you'll notice something a little bit weird about this is they're too close to each other. These receivers are too close to each other. We need to move them further out. So that inside receiver can stay put, but the outside receiver needs to move out so that they're not so close. If they're that close to each other, the play doesn't work because one linebacker can cover 2 guys. No, that's not good. We can't have that. So we need them to have a good split between them, okay? So these guys need to be far out. These guys need to be pretty close. And everybody is hitching inside. They don't hitch outside. If they hitch outside, that's the wrong route. And it's not going to work well, and our quarterback's going to throw an interception. So always do that little, you run, you turn, ball's there, you get upfield. So once you catch it right here, you start running. And if we can turn a 5 yard play into a 50 yard play, great. But this is only designed for 5 yards. So that's Hawaii. Okay, so this next play is called Cobras. Cobra's pretty simple. Cobra looks like this. Speed out, okay? It's a curvy route. Usually when you're running out, it'll look like this, like a box, okay? We're not running a box on this. We're running 3 steps, and we're curving it out, okay? So that guy comes underneath. He comes underneath. What I mean by that is that he's waiting for this guy to do this. So the outside receiver runs a 5 yard slant, and then the inside receiver waits for him to clear, and then he comes underneath, okay? So we're gonna hit this route a lot. It's 5 yards, very quick. It's not a post. A post looks like this, deep, and then like that. This is very short stem. I call this the stem. It's very short, okay? So a post is a very long stem. A slant is a very short stem, and then slant, okay? So Cobras is gonna be run like that on both sides, okay? Both sides are gonna have the speed out and then the slant, okay? And then the running back is gonna block. That's Cobras. This next play is called slice, okay? Slice, something like this. We're gonna do like, slice, okay? That's our hand signal more likely than not. It's just slice. All right. Slice looks just like Cobra, except for one thing. These inside receivers run that speed out we talked about, okay? They run that 3 yard speed out, but since we're gonna run Cobra so much in a game, they're not gonna know that we're actually gonna turn it upfield, okay? So once the outside receiver is just gonna run a 5 yard slant, okay? 5 yard slant. and then these guys are going to run a 3-yard out, but then they're going to turn it up. That's called a wheel route, okay? A wheel route is a really good route. Just kidding. That joke was lame, but I liked it. So we're going to try to hit them deep, okay? We're going to try to hit those guys deep. Now the running back is actually going to do something really fun here. He's going to do what's called a check and release, okay? A check and release means that he's going to, I keep dropping my markers. Maybe I shouldn't play receiver, okay? So he's going to block, but let's just say that nobody's coming. Let's just say only 4 guys are coming. So the tackle, the end, and he has no one to block, okay? So now he's going to check for people to block, and then if there's nobody, he'll just release out here. Now he's not going deep. He's just going a flat route, okay? He's going a flat route because he doesn't need to run some deep route because we already have these guys that are going to go score the touchdown on this play. This just gives us a little check down in case we need an extra guy. Let's say these are covered. We'll just throw it to this guy later. Okay, that is slice. All right, this next play is called Python. Python is all slants. Everybody's running a slant, okay? These guys are running 5-yard slants. These guys are running 3-yard slants. Now, the big problem we've been running into is we need to have these guys wider out, okay? Because if they run to the same spot, again, one defender can cover him and him. We don't want that. So we need to have this receiver closer to the line, this receiver further out, and it'll give us space. Our quarterback's probably going to try to hit these guys as the number 1 option, the inside receivers. And then, so option 1, option 2, option 3, option 4, okay? So, and then the running back is doing, again, a check to see if he needs to block someone, and then release, okay? But we only do that if there's no receiver already down there. I'm trying to decide if we should do this. That's called a swing, so check and then release into a swing route, or if I want the running back to do a different route called an arrow route. An arrow route looks more like this. So instead of a swing, I want them to do maybe an arrow, either which way.